Hello to my Cancers. This is Queen Amara coming to you with your general reading. I had to check and see if the microphone was on. Make sure it wasn't blinking because it would have been mute. All right, Cancers. Happy Sunday to each and every one of you all. Happy Sunday to each and every one of you all. Happy November 2nd. Let's see what's going on. Let's just do make sure we get everything covered before we dive into your reading. So Mercury is pre-shadow retrograde, right? Mercury, the communication and messenger planet. Mercury, you will hear that Mercury is the messenger planet, but a lot of people don't know everything about Mercury, okay? So let's make sure we cover everything about Mercury so that you don't miss anything. So Mercury is the communication and learning planet, but it is called the messenger planet. It's our own personal messenger planet, right? So it's constantly sending and receiving messages to us in many different ways. So like when you're looking for signs and wonders, it can come in any kind of way. It can come in colors, it can come in scents, in smells. It can come through astral projections. You can hear things. It can come through music. It can come through like when you're, like when you go online and you could be looking up something. Like let's say, for instance, you go Google something, right? And all of a sudden you see a series of the same thing popping up. So it can come in a form of a cat walking across your path, a dog coming across your path, colors, trees, flowers, however, y'all get the point, right? Messages, right? Communication and learning. It rules Gemini and Virgo, right? Gemini rules third house. Everybody has a third house. Virgo rules sixth house. Everybody has a sixth house, right? You all rule fourth house. The day of the week is associated with is Wednesday. The metal is Mercury, right? The colors associated with Mercury is gray and multicolors, right? So Mercury is the planet of language, communication, learning, ideas, trade and commerce, thoughts, opinions, your mind, factual memory, siblings, exchange, youth, and education. Okay. So it is pre-shadow retrograde right now, meaning that it's preparing to go retrograde, right? Pre-shadow retrograde. So it's showing you, as preparing to show you, right? You're being shown your shadow, your past right now, okay? I already filmed a video for you all, but it was pretty intense. So Source is putting someone in your face right now. I don't want y'all to miss this message here. Someone has paired you with someone. Source has paired you with someone that is showing you your past. Source has linked you with someone. Doesn't have to be a family member, but has linked you with someone for you to see your own past in your own family, okay? But if you have a lot going on and you're not purging on a regular basis, you're not going to see it. So if they see it first, they may end a relationship with you for you to see it. Hopefully somebody caught that, okay? They may end a relationship with you so that you can see it. That's the only way that sometimes people see things, is if something ends abruptly. You know how like sometimes you can be riding along, sometimes you don't see something happening until somebody slams on brakes and everything comes flying to the front. All of a sudden you're like, well, what happened? I was listening to the music. What happened? You didn't see all that stuff that was going on the highway? You didn't see what was going on? No. So that's what's happening right now. Pre-shadow retrograde, your shadow self. Something is slammed on brakes so that you could see something, right? This is the whole purpose of you purging, okay? We're in Scorpio season right now. You're getting downloads, you're getting messages. You have linked up with someone. On one side, you're linked up with someone right now that has not purged and it's affecting what you're seeing. On the other side, someone is trying to show you that you're connected to someone. It could be a friend, family member, or whatever, that is showing you something. They are mirroring. They're showing you a mirror. Here, look at this. you're connected with someone who is trying to show you something from your past. Like somebody's trying to somebody's trying to bring a tower down on you. Look in the mirror. Like, you know, like when you look in the mirror, it's like something from your past is trying, like somebody's trying to bring a tower down on you from your past. You know, like when you look in your rearview mirror, right? You know how you driving along, Cancer, and then you catch it just in time before you slam right into the back of somebody, and it brings everything to the front. Bam! Before you slam into the back of somebody, right? You catch it just in the nick of time. The video that I filmed for you all before, you're catching something just in the nick of time. Okay, so I'm not going to post that video because it was pretty lengthy. So this is a good thing. All right, so you're starting to get the message. Be grateful for people that that you're connected to that catches something. This is where you're grateful for people who close out cycles in love and not hate. Okay, this is where you're grateful for when people close out cycles in love and not hate. Right. Some things seem cold when people put up a barrier because we're coming up on a beaver moon, right? So we know what the purpose of beavers building a dam. But somebody's like, dang it. Oh my God, I'm glad they caught that because I didn't even see that coming. You know, it's like literally driving next to, like being in the passenger seat, right? And somebody else is driving and they catch it before y'all go into a head-on collision. Like y'all literally about to slam into the back of something. You grateful that somebody was paying attention. You grateful that somebody else was paying attention because, oh my God, I had so much going on. I didn't even see this. Right? Somebody walked away. Because somebody saw how cold-hearted somebody was, some people were being. There's 8 right here. 8 of water. Somebody put an end to something. Somebody said, no, let's put an end to something. Let's just go ahead and put an end to something. Because these energies, we're talking about money. You got to remember, somebody was banking on somebody's money running really low. And they were using you, Cancer, in some way, shape, form, or fashion to pay for something. And you couldn't see it. Maybe you could, maybe you couldn't. Who knows? Somebody was banking on somebody's money running really low. And you weren't paying, and somebody was banking on you not paying attention to something, but somebody else caught it. They just thinking you just in the passenger seat and you just riding along, just riding along, and then bam, right? But when somebody's in hermit mode, this is a challenge. Somebody's in hermit mode and the light turns on, that's a challenge there. Somebody's now going back into hermit mode. Something may have been a challenge for you to go in hermit mode. But somebody's now going into hermit mode. But that's the analogy that I have to give somebody, is that your symbol is a crab. So getting into hermit mode, it should be, remember, hermit mode does not mean that somebody lives on a mountain, in a mountain, like away from humanity, right? That's not what hermit mode means. Hermit mode really means going within and being in communion with your higher self. That means, hey, remember this is Virgo, right? That means, hey, I got to go within and I got to go and get my downloads by myself and really analyze some things. I mean, I got to really analyze some things. You were in a karmic relationship with somebody. That could have been a friend. You could have been not necessarily your spouse or your love interest. You and your love person, your person that you're in a romantic relationship, y'all could be cool. Like y'all could be good. But you could have been in a relationship with a friend or somebody you was talking, family member. Somebody was banking on you not paying attention. And somebody else that you were connected with, spending money with, because 8 is the money exchange. You exchanging money with somebody, saw something you couldn't see. Every time they talk to you, they were like, okay, is cancer connected? Does Cancer know? This could have been your local grocer, somebody you at the grocery store with, and they could have saw you and somebody together, and they could have been like, you know how somebody could, like, you guilty by association? So you could have been going to your local, like, farmer's market or something, and somebody could have been like, okay, does Cancer hang out with them? You know how somebody be looking at you suspicious, Cancer, and you could be the good person, and you're like, I don't have nothing to do with that, but you're guilty by association, right? Somebody looking at you and looking at them and looking at you and looking at them, and you're like, I don't have anything to do with them. I don't have anything, but you do because you're linking up with them, right? But a light came on for somebody in hermit mode. Because somebody who's driving was like, okay, Cancer's not paying attention. Cancer's in, you know, analyzing something else around money. So money was involved in something. Money was involved in something. So that could be a challenge for you to go into hermit mode and shut down and say, okay, I need to analyze something with some precision. I need to really, really pay attention. Because somebody you were linking up with, dark energy, they refused to purge. And so something for you has to learn how to detach. Like something for Cancer has to detach, because somebody was really, really, remember 8 also is a destiny swap. 2 energies wanted to swap with you and someone else. They really wanted, that's 8 is a destiny swap number. 8 also connects us with death, right? Scorpio is a death card. Something around intimacy and shared possessions. So, but a light came on for you in hermit mode, and your life was mirroring someone else's life. They kept trying to tell you, pay attention, look in the mirror. Something from your past, the shadow, something is behind you, right? So the distant past, what's the distant past? Somebody went on a quest, and so somebody was talking, right? A familiar spirit, familiar spirit. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Right. So somebody could have smelled something. Somebody could have smelled something. You see all these trees or something in the background. You could have smelled something, right? Some herbs or something you could have smelled. Right? You could have smelled something. And that's what I kept saying, you know, in my readings, like when people are trying to get messages through to you all, you know, fireplace, when it gets cold outside, you could have felt like a lot of heat, you know, like something could have felt like the heat was turned up. Open up your windows, right? You could have gotten notices from, you know, like if you live in a condo or an apartment or something, like you smell gas, you know, like usually like the gas company will say, okay, if you smell something like eggs or something like that, call them for an emergency, because that could be a smell that they need to come out in emergency or something like that, right? You could have smelled something. So somebody went on a quest. Right? Somebody went on a quest. Right? Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, they went on some kind of a quest. So something was going on behind you. Something was going on behind you. So there's shadow. Something was going on behind you. So somebody was trying to tell you something while you were in hermit mode. Like look behind you before something just slams on brakes. And all of a sudden you're like, oh God, something about money. Something about money and somebody from your past. Like somebody was basically like, look behind you. Like look behind you, pay attention to something. Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. Somebody could have, somebody was linking up with somebody from your past. And somebody was saying, pay attention. Somebody is behind you. Something around money. Something around, 8th house speaks to sacred sex. Speaks to money. Could have been somebody you were in a relationship with in the past. Could have been somebody, you know, somebody could have been stalking you. Somebody could have been stalking you. So if you smelled something that reminded you of somebody from your past, maybe they smoked, maybe they wore a certain cologne or perfume or something like that, while you were in hermit mode, start paying attention. Maybe they was doing some kind of candle magic, something. Start paying attention. Start paying attention. That somebody kept trying to give you a message. right? Here's the Eight of Wands here, right? Something is now over. Something is now over. This is the reason why I teach the way I teach. This is something recent. So the recent past, something is now over, right? Something is now over. So something happened really, really fast. Something is now over because somebody talked to somebody, right? Somebody went on a quest. Somebody had a conversation with somebody, and now something is over. The recent past, somebody got focused real fast, right? And took care of something. Somebody went on a quest and took care of something real fast. Yeah. So make sure you start paying attention to smells, especially if it's somebody from your past. Here's the Eight of Cups, Eight of Water, right? So somebody put something out real fast, right? Somebody extinguished something really, really fast while you were in hermit mode because fire and water, like somebody put something out real fast. You spoke up and somebody put something out real fast because, again, somebody really wants to link up with you. And a light for you came on. Like I said, light for you came on very, very quickly about possibly who's around you, who wants to link up with you. Like I said, obsessed. And so somebody could be asking why, you know, like what is the reason? What is the why? But you're dealing with secret and open enemies. That's what you're dealing with. And you receive some kind of a download, some kind of message. All right. So what are your strengths? What are your strengths here? Okay. So whatever it is, whoever you realize, okay, so you found out real fast who was connected to whom, right? This is why, like I said, you're moving on from something because you found out real fast who was connected to whom. So in other words, we're talking about emotional connections here, right? Starting out with the Eight of Cups here, because something has come to an end now, and you found out something in hermit mode. Hopefully you learned something just watching this channel. I mean, hopefully you learned something about a variety of ways and how you can find out things, right? Cups energy connects us with water sacral chakra. Like who is obsessed with you. So it's like somebody's been following you around. There's somebody's been following you around. Wherever you go, they go. Right? This is an obsession, like linking up with people, trying to find out where you're going, watching every little thing that you're doing. Even though you're a hermit, somebody's like looking everywhere you're going. You move to an apartment or a complex or a condo or cul-de-sac, home, whatever. They looking in your house, looking through your door, trying to find out where you are, right? Just crazy. Again, source is saying to you, but just cold-blooded, like this ice running through their veins. And so it's saying something is now, because you're dealing with open enemies. That's what you're dealing with, right? People who see you as opposition. And this is a religious organization, or people who dealing with something religious, something having to do with religion, right? But you're in receiving mode of things. So now when you start smelling certain things, something is reminding you of something, right? Also, somebody talked to, now you know exactly who talked to something having to do with flying, something having to do with airplanes or flying, because that's what Eight of Wands is. Quick progression of something. So you could have taken classes around flying. You could have been taking trips around flying. Somebody could have gone on a quest. This person right here could have gone on a quest, asked questions around flying. Somebody could have been separated, something around flying, because the polarity to Eight of Wands is Four of Wands. So somebody felt like something was their way or the highway. So somebody made a very impulsive decision. Again, Aries. Somebody could have a Aries moon. as well, right? So all of this stuff is going on. So you're seeing who is linked up with who. Somebody is smoking trees. This is with this trees here, with this fire here. Somebody's just doing all this, doing the most. And all of this is connecting to a religious organization. So somebody is basically like, pay attention to your surroundings. These people are cold-hearted. You also see this color green. So you're dealing with people who are green with envy. And green also connects us with the astral projection as well, right? Connects us with the heart chakra, right? Typically, which spreads typically 1 foot off the body, related to the heart chakra. It represents feelings of peace, love, connection to others. It reveals areas of grief or hardened heart, right? So like I said, these people have already told people that you have some kind of hardened heart, that you're grieving something, which is a lie. I don't feel like you're grieving anything. It would be other way. This is a projection of them. So again, these energies are, like I said, they're already shown themselves to be open enemies. So they have to say something dark about you or grieving something, but you're not grieving anything. You close out a cycle and moved on. I feel like you've always been a hermit. Hermit doesn't mean that you cut yourself off from society. You just don't leave the house unless there's a purpose to leave the house, right? So here we go. Ace of Coins. There's a lot of money involved in something. A lot of money involved in something. So you found out quickly who's aligned with whom, right? So someone knows a truth about something. Someone now knows a truth. You know a truth about something, right? You now know a truth about who's connected to whom and who's mirroring something, like who's following whom, who's connected to whom, all of this stuff. And you know why now, because there's a lot of money involved. This is the Ace of Coins here, Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, and this is your strength here, a lot of money. This is a strength for you because there's a lot of money involved. All right, so what about the near future? What about the near future? Yeah, 6 of Cups here. This is why somebody doesn't look like what they've been through. So you're taking some good memories with you because something has come to an end. Something is over. You're taking good memories with you. Yeah, this is nostalgia. You're taking good memories. You had a sixth sense about something. You weren't really sure what it was. But this is why it's so important to purge. We have 8 major moon phases within one cycle, right? Within one cycle, which lasts 29.5 days. Purge, purge, purge on a regular basis. Please go into hermit mode. Please download, journal, write. It can seem like the wildest, weirdest downloads that you're getting. But please use this Mercury retrograde because this would have been the 3rd time Mercury goes retrograde this year, okay? It'll be retrograde up until, I want to say November 29th, I want to say. Yeah, so from November 9th to November 29th, right? So it's November 9th in Sagittarius. And this is the year 9. Sagittarius rules year 9, right? So it's time to go on a quest in your spiritual knowledge and journey. Gemini rules 3rd house, Sagittarius rules 9th house. So the difference between 9th house and 3rd house is 3rd house deals with early education. 9th house deals with higher education spiritually, right? That's just one of the differences between the two. And so somebody is now going on a quest in higher spiritual knowledge so that even no matter who you're linking up with, somebody's like, okay, I'm never going to be caught in the passenger seat again, where I have a relationship has to come to a screeching halt. It has to come to a screeching halt before a light turns on. And I realize, oh my God, now I got to go on a quest because I never saw that happening. Something coming to a screeching halt. And now I'm asking why. Why didn't I see that coming? Because there's so much money involved. That's all some people see is money. That's all they see is money. They can't see nothing else but money. They don't believe stuff until they physically see it. That's because that's all some people's love language is. They figure, hey, if we take somebody's money down to a negative in their account and we got somebody money, we give them some money, we can use Cancer since Cancer we can get Cancer to do something involving money, then we know, right? If we mess up Cancer's money, right? We know Cancer is going to do something, right? Involving some money, right? And so you can move on realizing that people don't resent you. Somebody had to just put a screeching halt to something. Whoever you are, somebody may have had to put a screeching halt to something, because somebody could just realize, you know what, Cancer's not seeing something. And that's no slight against anybody, because we're all in human form. We're all in human form, unless you are purging on a regular basis, for real. Unless you're purging on a regular basis, that's everybody. But guess what? Something is going to happen to you real fast. You're about to end something, right? Because in hindsight, this is you right here. You're walking away from the depth of emotion when it comes to something. You're about to end something with somebody. You're about to end something with some people, because you're like, you know what? It's going to be two people you're going to end something with, because the depth of emotion that's attached to something around money for some people, you're about to end something because somebody told you, somebody had the foresight to tell you, these energies are linked to a third energy that's going to drag you down. Somebody's jealous. All they looking at is money, right? So something is pushing you back into hermit mode. Something is pushing you into hermit mode so you can go on a quest and like really, and things are going to speed up for you. Things are going to speed up for you. But these energies, it's almost like something is pushing you back, like to go, now I'm going on a quest, right? And things, and source is going to speed up. It's like speeding up time for you. What that means is, I saw something on Instagram where this girl said she sped up time. And the person who was interviewing her said, well, what does that mean? And she said, well, she was trying to learn a new language. And so the time she was supposed to learn a new language was supposed to be like 2-3 years, but she said she learned it in like 6 months or something, and that would mean like speeding up time. So she was supposed to learn it in like 2 to 3 years, but she learned it in like 6 months. That's speeding up time. That's what it means, like speeding up time. She learned it in half, a half or fourth of the amount of time she was supposed to learn it. So source is going to speed up something for you just because you were able to walk away from some energies. So a light turned on for you. So something is going to speed up for you just because emotionally you're learning how to detach earlier. You're learning how to detach your emotions. You're learning how to close out cycles and just take some good memories with you. You're learning how to take good memories with you. You're very, very valuable to some people. You're very, very valuable to some people, and they know it because the energy of money is so attracted to you. You don't look like what you've been through. So a tower is coming down on some people who were very impulsive when it comes to you. They just knew if they took everything as far as you're concerned, like put your account in a negative in terms of your money is concerned, they just knew it if they took your money down to nothing. Like put your account in a negative, that hey, if they just gave you a little something, that you'd be like, okay. Basically, if you made them your God in terms of money, the whole tower is coming down on some energies. The whole tower is coming down on some energies. Because they thought that you were going to make money your God. That was them. First house, right? Aries rules first house. We're not necessarily talking about in Aries, but they did something that they were monitoring the 6th house. Virgo rules 6th house. Not necessarily talking about a Virgo, but somebody was looking at your work schedule, like looking at every little thing. Okay, let's wear this person out. They were cold-blooded, like monitoring everything as far as your work is concerned. This person is not making that much money. Let's just throw them a couple of coins here, there. Let's wear them down. They don't look like what they've been through. I mean, just cold-blooded. Let's talk to this person. Stuff after a while started becoming obvious at that point. Stuff started becoming obvious at that point. The people around you smoking stuff, you smelling this, you smelling that. I mean, stuff is started becoming so obvious it wasn't even funny. It was just so cold-blooded, it just wasn't even funny. Let's mess with their money. Let's let this, you know, this do this. Let's do that. Candle magic. I mean, but you're not going back. All the stuff that people was doing, it just didn't. I mean, just say it. Anyway, external and environmental influences. You ain't going back, and they don't want you back. So there it is. Let's just come straight out with it. The ninth house. So you went on a quest. There it is. So you're in a very vulnerable position right now, but you're safe. You're in a very vulnerable position. All of that just going on. Like, people have just told you what was going on. Like, they ain't. Anyway, hopes and fears. Yep. So here we have the Ten of Wands here. Yeah. So something is over. You're building. Here you are, you're building, right? You're a very responsible person. Your hands are full. You know, your hands are full here. You're a very responsible person. I'm seeing you're in your 10th house. So you're at your 10th house. You and someone in your 10th house, right? And I see you traveling. So again, here's the message is traveling as well. Because again, we're talking about Mercury. So the message has traveled to whoever it was supposed to travel to. Message has traveled to all the energies it was supposed to travel to. Right? Like I said, some people feel like you left them out in the cold. I mean, I don't know if you all have a social media presence. People heard everything. They heard everything. Everything you may have put on social media, people heard it. Literally, people heard it, right? If it was Six of Cups, somebody could have been drinking water, or somebody could have been drinking something else. Who knows? Mocktails, cocktails, whatever. People heard everything, right? Everything you said, right? People see that you walked away from some cold-blooded energies. People heard that people said that you were linking up with somebody. I mean, who knows what people were saying? Who even cares at this point? Closed out some stuff. People heard that people were saying there's some big money attached to something. Who knows? Who even knows? You know, people were saying that you were responsible for something. Somebody has flowers on their pants, right? So you could be a person who dresses a little differently. You could be into gardening, so you could have a garden. You could have been planting seeds for a garden. Who knows? That as well. People see you as a very responsible person. You're a hard-working person. Some people could have seen you out walking. They could see somebody could have said that you walk like you have the weight of the world on your shoulders. Who knows? I mean, who knows what people were saying? What's the outcome? Yeah. All in all, you're waking up from some nightmares. This is a Nine of Swords here. So I see you, and you're not going to be talking about it anymore. Right. This is the reason why some people are single. Because you don't look like what you've been through. This is the reason here. This is the reason why you're single, because you don't look like what you've been through. You've been through a lot. Whoever you are, you've been through a whole lot. You know your worth and you know your value. This is the Ace of Coins here. This is and they know your worth and your value, right? So somewhere in love relationships, and this is not judging. This is not judging anybody, but something about this Ace of Coins here for you. I feel like if you enter into a romantic relationship, whoever you are, if you enter into a relationship, somebody's not going to be talking about what they went through in the past. Yeah, you're just completely, that's not going to be your conversation anymore. You could be literally just waking up from some nightmares. In this year 9, you could be really just waking up. You could have really gone through that much. So what I'm picking up from your reading, whoever you are, is that you may carry the weight of a lot. You could carry ancestral, and this is with a lot of compassion. This is a lot of people who carried it. people who are highly gifted, like empaths. Empaths carry a lot of this is the Six of Cups. This is one way that people develop a sixth sense. You could have grown up in a family where whoever you are, where you heard a lot of deaths. Like you could have been around a lot of people who, like, you were there when people got the news that they lost a job. That's a death of a job, right? Or like their marriage ended. That's the death of a marriage. You could have been there when there was an ending of, like, endings. Y'all know what I'm saying? You could have been around all of that, right? Where people became so desensitized to stuff like, oh, they got a divorce. Oh, right? Or, oh, child, they lost a job. You know, like that. For you, something could be traumatic, right? Where you need people to be sensitive to that kind of stuff. Like, you don't, just because these people went through this, a drink is not going to solve it. You know, smoking is not going to solve it. Like, you need somebody to be there, meet you on that level, like somebody to be sensitive to it. They may have gone through several things. You don't need somebody. And so the fact that somebody went on a quest to try to find out something, like, you don't need people to do stuff behind your back. Like, something was a nightmare for you. Something has been a nightmare for you. So, yeah. Yep. So, yeah. So again, it's literally like seeing something for the first time that is just like knowing that your ancestors went through, and seeing, and people are just like, oh, that's no big deal. It is a big deal for you. It's a big deal for you. It's a huge big deal for you, right? And so again, for some people, it's like, oh, that's not a, for you, you're like, oh, nah. You're like, you out of there. You out of there. So a lot of your wishes are going to be fulfilled here. So something gave you nightmares to see it. Especially if you saw the evidence of it. If you saw the evidence of it, if you saw the pain that it cost your loved ones, if you love your grandparents or parents, like, you saw the evidence of that in your household, of them going through certain things, and you're an empath, yeah, you won't have anything to do with it. So yeah, light came on for somebody. Some things for some people don't seem like it's that much of a big deal. For, yeah, some things you don't want to be around. Some things you don't want to be around. So there are going to be some people. There are going to be some people who. This is why somebody feels like people feel like you're very, very valuable to something, right? I guess because people feel like, okay, they want to get your perspective. I guess could be for you. Somebody could like want to get your perspective. Like, okay, this is something new. Like, what's your perspective? That would literally be like reliving trauma. Like, what in the world? Like, who want to do that? So somebody wants the best for you. Somebody wants the best for you. So somebody is a bitter ex. I don't know, child. Just right. Your bitter ex's lover wants you. Whatever, child. So one yes from God is all you need. But you have a lot of wealth coming across your path right here. So prepare for an increase in pay. Yeah, so be patient. You know what I'm picking up on? And this is, again, with this compassion. I feel like you have so much compassion for your loved ones. It's just not even really funny. But it puts you in an unsafe space, too. This will put you in a very vulnerable space. I feel like it's overwhelming with love for these energies here. Like, you're showing compassion for people who have gone almost into... Because you get 5, 6, and 7 of cups is Scorpio. We're not talking about a Scorpio. We're talking about the death card. That's the death card, right? 8 of cups is you walking away, like that's ending something, right? And that's we starting out, you walking away from something, like, okay, you've broken a generational cycle, chain, and curse. Even talking about it, you're saying, okay, I don't want to relive something your ancestors lived. Like, you're basically saying they put all that work in there for you to break a generational cycle, chain, and curse. You are an answered prayer. Like, what the heck? Somebody's amongst incubi and succubi. Heart chakra cleanse. Keep moving forward. Move on in silence and move on in peace. Your new home awaits. So put yourself first. So don't forget that rest is a form of self-care. So yeah, a lot of your wishes are about to be fulfilled. So wealth is within your reach. Yeah, somebody's a succubus spirit. Yeah, so your well of joy is within your reach. Yeah, so get some fresh air. He apologizes for betraying you. I don't know who he is at all. You inspired them to heal. So close out the cycle in love. Yeah, your ancestors are proud of you. At what age did your parents work on their shadow self? At what age did you work on your shadow self? You have the gift of telepathy. That's a transference of thoughts, feelings, ideas, intuitive, emotively, and super consciously. This is what I'm saying. I don't feel like whoever you are, I don't feel like you're judging people at all. I feel like it's with an enormous amount of compassion and empathy. Sympathy and empathy as far for your loved ones, but also more importantly, I feel like it's for your ancestors. That's what I'm picking up on your cards here. So you can drop a comment below. So clearing. So as true offering arises, it becomes easy to let go. You start to trust that more will arrive. You shift from mine to God's. Such freedom. Yeah. Yeah, so somebody was showing you a mirror. Source had to link you up with somebody who showed you a mirror of like, okay, it's time to break a generational cycle, chain, and curse. Because somebody was trying to bind, whoever you are, Cancer, somebody was trying to bind you to them to keep reliving the past. And they were being cold-hearted at doing it because there was so much money in it. Somebody was trying to bind you to something because the money was involved. But what you couldn't see was that they saw money coming to you. They kept looking at you like, okay, money is, I mean, Cancer. That's what I keep trying to tell people about Cancers is that just because you're a hermit, well, you're not necessarily a hermit, but you know what I'm saying? Like y'all, your symbol is a crab. Doesn't mean that, like you got a vault somewhere in your house. Well, you're a bank vault in your house. Y'all are just a frugal zodiac sign. So anyway, hold your vision. Hold your vision. Some people were just fixated on y'all just having some kind of a bank vault in your house. Like, what is that about? Yep, this card came out. A matter of fact, this card came out again. It came out in the first reading that I had for you all, the truth. Yeah, you're shining a mirror back on your family, your whole family. That's like, you know, you looked in the mirror at yourself first and you were like, no, something was traumatic for you. It was traumatic for your ancestors. It's, you know what I'm picking up on, Cancer, is like something skipped a generation and it hit you. It's almost like it's like your grandparents passed the baton to your parents. And they didn't get it. So they passed it to the grandkids. You the grandchild, right? You the grandkids, whoever you are. And when they passed it to you, you got it. You're the grandkids that got it. The grandkids like, no, I don't want to see my grandparents suffer. And guess what? 9 of Cups came out twice. So if it's you and somebody, you and your kids, or who are you and your kids, whatever, y'all breaking generational cycles, chains, and curses. It's like the generation that came after your grandparents, they were living, they wanted their dream. They weren't thinking about the next generation. That's what this is. So you holding your vision. That mirror is looking at everybody. They all looking like, oh, we living for like a microwave generation, right? Your generation, whoever you are, y'all was thinking legacy. That's what I'm saying for you. So Source had to link you up with somebody who was also legacy minded. Like, okay. So that's what I'm saying for you all, Cancer. So I don't know how that you all received it, but yeah, you inspired some people to heal. You really inspired some people to heal. So he apologizes for betraying you, but somebody got lost in the sauce. Somebody got lost. They got lost. Somebody was like, here, take a drink, you know, we can have some fun right now. It's a lot of money involved in all this, and they got lost for a minute. But they realized you didn't look like what you had gone through. Like, okay, I can't even, like, somebody just, anyway, that's what I'm seeing here. This is what I'm seeing here. So hopefully this is helpful. All right, bye.